Today we're going to go through the steps in order to replace the fuel pump on this 2004 Dodge Grand Caravan. One of the first things you want to do before doing any repairs to the fuel system is bleed the pressure off the system. Be sure and capture any fuel in a safe container. Before we begin the repair, we'll remove the negative battery cable. In order to do a proper fuel pump replacement, we need to clean the inside of the tank, and that will require the removal of the tank. Be sure and loosen the filler hose. We will remove this as we lower the tank. The neck that goes into the tank can break if we do not loosen this filler hose. Disconnect the vent line. Now we'll remove the fuel line. Keep in mind there may be some residual pressure. Be sure and capture any fuel into a safe container. Unlock the safety retainer before disconnecting the electrical connection. Now support the tank and remove the tank strap. With the tank in this position, we can now remove the front and rear emissions lines. As we lower the tank, be sure and work the filler hose off of the filler neck. Also slide the emissions line through the frame opening. With all lines disconnected, we can now remove the tank from the vehicle. Clean the outside of the tank, making sure to remove any residue that may drop into the tank when removing the pump. Now that we've thoroughly cleaned the outside of the tank, we'll take our non-ferrous brass punch and turn the locking ring counterclockwise to remove it. Disconnect the fuel line and remove the retaining clip. We will reuse this on the new assembly. Always inspect the retaining ring to make sure it's not damaged in any way that would hinder its reinstallation. Note the position of the locating tab. We want to orient the new pump into the same position. Keep in mind that there is a reservoir at the bottom of the module assembly. Be sure and capture this fuel into a safe container. Note the contamination that's built up on this strainer. This is why it's very important to clean the tank before reinstalling a new pump. At this point, we need to drain the remaining fuel into a safe container and then clean the inside of the tank. We want to be sure that the tank is as clean as possible to allow a clean environment for the fuel pump. Now with the inside of the tank thoroughly cleaned, we're ready to install the new Airtex fuel pump module. The module assembly comes with two different tank seals. Be sure and match the correct tank seal for your application. We want to install the tank seal onto the module assembly before installing it into the tank. When we removed the assembly, we noted the location of the locking tab. Be sure and reposition this into the correct location. Now we'll install our locking ring. We'll use our non-ferrous brass punch to turn the locking ring clockwise in order to completely install. We'll now install our retaining clip and fuel line onto the assembly. As we raise the tank into position, be sure and slide the fuel filler vent through the frame and start the fuel filler hose onto the tube. With the tank raised into this position, we can reinstall the front and rear emissions lines. Reconnect the electrical connection. Reinstall your tank strap. Connect the fuel line. Reconnect the filler vent and tighten the filler hose. We'll reinstall the negative battery cable. Cycle the key 2 to 3 times in order to charge the system. Start the vehicle and monitor the fuel pressure, making sure it's within vehicle specifications. Now before we remove our pressure gauge, we'll shut the vehicle off and bleed the pressure using our pressure gauge, making sure to capture any fuel into a safe container.